Surely. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I remember I heard somewhere a Canadian singer quoted once. Maybe many of you might have heard this or read this too. Live without pretending, love without depending, listen without defending, and speak without offending. Members and guests, welcome to the 556th meeting of Sharjah Toastmasters Club. The mission of a Toastmasters Club is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Now, for the smooth proceedings of the meeting, I request everyone to either switch off their mobile phones or keep them on silent mode. Kindly follow the rules and regulations as per the emergency at your place, if any. Also, please keep muted while anyone is speaking unless you are asked to unmute to avoid distraction. Please note that as per the Toastmaster guidelines, we all should refrain from speaking about sex, religion, and politics during the meeting. Now, last but not the least, when a speaker is speaking, refrain from sending any messages on the chat box or moving out from your seat and coming back with your screen open. Now, with complete honor and privilege, allow me to introduce to you our club president, DTM Regis Chulail. He's an enthralling personality who's a maritime professional and a soft-spoken and articulate perfectionist. His life motto is to do better and serve better with each performance from the previous one. And this zeal to improve is guiding our club to greater heights and accomplishments. With a huge round of applause, please welcome our president, distinguished Toastmaster Regis Chulail. Over to you, President.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Soumya Loth, for your kind words of introduction, your clear-cut guidelines of how to start a meeting so that everyone around knows what to do, what not to do. And I always used to say, you are a master of words and you continue to amaze us. To talk about our Surgeon-at-Arms Toastmaster Soumya, I say that he is another name for determination and dedication, always willing to take up any role at any point of time without the least hesitation and who doesn't need any notice period. I would like to call him as a beacon of hope for any VP education. He is a resort for every VP education. Thank you once again. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. I warmly welcome each and every one of you to our meeting number 556 today on October 13th, 2021. And with the power given to me as the president of Sharjah Toastmasters, I declare meeting number 556 as opened. To talk about our future, who among us is not concerned about our future? How many times have we asked ourselves, what is our future? What the future holds us? Whether I would be successful, what would be my fate? How many of us have not asked this question? No one, I'm sure. Let me talk about a few people, or rather a group of people who always think too much about their future, and in the process, they forget to live the present. In the end, they have no future, no present. Is there anyone in this group who belongs to that category? If there is someone, change. Change your thought process. Focus on your present. Plan your present. Live your present. When you focus on your present and live your present, you would do it well. And then the future would be taken care of by itself. What is future after all? Have you asked this question to yourself? It is nothing but continuation of the present. So if we have our present in a perfect position, the future would fall in place. Otherwise, what would happen? People would continue to spoil their present by thinking about future. So take care of your future by taking care of your present. And in the context of our Sharjah Toastmasters, or rather again redefined within the premises of Sharjah Toastmasters, how can we make our present and our future to the perfection in terms of being Toastmasters? Simple. Attend all the Toastmasters meeting. Take up roles, not just speaker roles, but all of the leadership roles also, so that we have good interaction, our meetings become more enjoyable, and our club will grow from height to height, with the hope that everyone would be more active in the coming days. Now, we have certain announcements. The number one, let me start with the support of everyone, every member and every ExCom member, we have won the Lead and Win Award. During these tough times, it is not easy. We had to renew at least 25 members within the deadline of September 30, and we could do that. Let us congratulate ourselves for this achievement, which is indeed great under these challenging times. Thank you so much, everyone. And now we have 2 new members who joined last week. Toastmaster Rita Gopinath, who is here now with us. And I believe Toastmaster Shibu is not here presently. Maybe he would join. If he joins, Toastmaster Shiva, please give me a shout so that I can acknowledge. And another announcement, the contest season is starting to come. We are just waiting officially from the division as to when the debate contest would be there, but I came to know it is falling on the 10th of December. We'll just, once we receive the official confirmation, we will be sending it across to you. And considering that, we plan to have our club debate contest in the first meeting of November. So all the information would be given in due course. By the way, who's the timer? I cannot see the timer. Who's the timer?
The timer is Toastmaster Manazir.
Toastmaster Manazir is there because I do not just want to jump the time. I think Toastmaster Manazir has not joined. Can anyone show the time during that time? Who can? Toastmaster Shiva, is it possible for you to do the timing till then? Because I just don't want to overshoot. Anyway, I would then wrap up in as fast as possible. We have one guest among us, Madam Pramila. Madam Pramila,
yes.
Can we hear from you?
Yeah.
Are you a
Yes.
Toastmaster? Are you a Toastmaster? Are you?
Hi. No, I am not.
Oh, you are not. Okay.
This,
So
yeah.
could you
This
please
is
tell us,
my
like,
first time.
how did you come to know of Sharjah Toastmasters? How did you come to know of our meeting?
Okay. I'll introduce myself first. I am Pramila Vas. I live in Sharjah. And I had the desire to join Toastmasters Club from long time because I had heard a lot of good things about the Toastmasters Club. So I wanted to join to brush my communication skills and also to gain confidence. And then Michelle Carvalho is one of my best good friend. So I spoke to her about that long time, I think just before COVID. And she gave me Nagarajan sir number. Then after that, yeah, because of the pandemic, I thought, this is not the right time maybe. So I just waited. And yesterday I messaged Nagarajan sir. And then he immediately he responded. And then we started talking. And to my surprise, I found that Nagarajan sir is living not only in my building, he's in my floor. Yeah, so we are in the same floor also. So he encouraged me and he told me that tomorrow is our meeting. So, and he sent me the ID and all that. So I am here today. So it's meeting all of you. Let's see how it goes. So I have the desire to join. Yeah, that is all about myself.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
You're most welcome. And then you live in the same floor of DTM Nagarajan, so we can rename it as Toastmaster floor. And then we hope that we would be having one more Toastmaster on the same floor. And then it will be your responsibility to bring in more members to Sharjah Toastmasters, perhaps from the same floor or can be from different floors. So that we leave it to you.
Definitely, yes. Yeah.
Welcome to Sharjah Toastmasters. And we have
Thank
one new member. Oh, thank you so much. We have one new member who just became a proud member of Sharjah Toastmasters. Madam Toastmaster Rija Gopinath, a few words from you.
Yes, good evening to all of you. Yes, it was always a desire to be a part of Toastmaster. I actually came to know through one Mrs. Malavika, and Malavika Sabrish. Yeah, I don't know whether it's the same group, but she's a member of Toastmaster for some time now. And I always take part in these activities, so I was very much for it. So I got introduced to Mr. Shiva. I got in touch, and through him, I joined the club. I enjoyed the first session as a guest, and I'm here with you all.
Thank you so much. And then, as I mentioned earlier, please continue to be in the meeting in every meeting and take up roles so that we all grow collectively. And just a word for you, Madam Toastmaster, Madam Pramila. There is an introduction about Toastmasters, but since you are already in contact with DTM Nagarajan, there would not be any better person to talk about Toastmasters to you so that you have the full coverage of Toastmasters. So I leave that question now. Today, for your information, we will not have a secretary's report. So we are just moving to the main business straight away. It is time to invite someone who is going to be the anchor of the day, who is going to talk about certain things which we very much look forward to. Relatively a new member of Sharjah Toastmasters, but every time he takes up roles with such passion and such commitment, and again, similar to our Toastmaster Soumya Lod, every time we ask for additional role, he is more than happy to assist. A consistent attendee in any meetings. When I asked him, how would you like me to introduce you? He said, just keep it simple. That shows he is a simple man, a man of simplicity. He is an HR professional, a father of two. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Mohammad Dannan. The stage is yours, Toastmaster Dannan.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Let me share my screen. One second. Can you see the screen? Can you see the screen?
Yes, we can, Toastmaster Dannan.
All right. Well, thank you very much, President Rajesh, for this wonderful introduction. Good evening, my fellow Toastmasters and guests. It's always lovely to see these very exciting faces. And also, I would like to welcome the guests again. You remind me of myself when I first started as well. And I wish you a very successful journey here in the Toastmaster Club. The theme of the day is business ethics. And if we look at this topic, we find that it's a very broad and general topic with many subcategories that go into it. And most of us as business professionals, we find ourselves interacting and making decisions based on our ethics and our moral codes, often daily, if not hourly. I don't want to talk to you today about subcategories of business ethics that you know. things like honesty or punctuality or doing the right thing. I want to talk about one attribute of business ethics that I think is currently being overlooked, while in the past it was much more important. But I think as we embrace a fast-moving lifestyle and more a pragmatic lifestyle, I would say, we are tending to forget about this quality. And that is having good reputation. I remember in the old times, it was very important for people to have good reputation. And especially in cities, probably where there was merchants and traders and all the cities that had trading activities. The importance of good reputation was much more than money even. People used to make deals based on their reputation. And I am sure that was the case in old Damascus where I grew up. And I'm sure that was the case in many of the cities where you grew up as well. I remember when I was young, I wanted to go and register myself in a school. And that was back in the day, that was very hectic and demanding task. I was at the 7th grade and I had to go by myself. My parents were busy. So I went to the principal's office. I gave him my papers. And I remember him, he looked at the papers. He said, Dannan, that's a very interesting last name. Are you related by any chance to Qasim Dannan? And he mentioned my grandfather's name. And at that time, my grandfather had passed away, I think 10 or 15 years ago, before that incident. And I said, yes, that was my late grandfather. And he said, yes, I know this person. I remember, and he was telling me the story. He remembers that his dad used to send him to buy sugar from my grandfather's shop. And that whenever he used to go, for example, to buy 1 kilogram of sugar, my grandfather would use the scale. You remember this old scale with metal plates and metal weights? He would put 1 kilogram of sugar in a paper bag on one side of the scale. And on the other side of the scale, he would put also 1 kilogram of weight plus one paper bag, just for him to make the scale 100% accurate. He told me this story and he said, you know, your grandfather, he had very good reputation all his life. And because of that, I will sign your papers immediately. We'll come to the school, you can start immediately. That story actually taught me something that's very important, that good reputation outlives our lives and will stay even after we pass away. This is the true mark that we leave in this world. And that is where I want to focus on this attribute. Having said that, I want to move to the second part of my speech, which is introducing the agenda and the role players for today. Usually our meetings in Toastmaster meetings have 4 different sections. We will start with the prepared speeches, and then we will move to the table topics, and then we will have the evaluations, and at the end we will close with the closing remarks. To introduce the role players, the first role player, I'm not sure if is Toastmaster Manager here or not yet. Can you hear me? Hello?
Toastmaster Dannan, I don't think he has joined in. So what I thought was standing in for him till he comes in. I'll bat for him and then he takes up the innings forward. So basically timing the session. And well, the next would be your accountant and grammarian, isn't it?
Yes, okay, so we will skip the timing.
Okay. If it's accountant and grammarian, then it's yours truly who will be noting the ahs and the oohs of the session and the good use of the language. And I'm sure we look forward to that. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Okay. Well, I would like to actually make an introduction for our second role player, and that is a man with many talents, and that is our grammarian for the day. A man with many talents. He doesn't need an introduction. I think the name itself is an introduction enough, and that is Toastmaster Sumya. Toastmaster Sumya, if you can tell us about the role of the grammarian, that would be great.
Well, to stress on the positive side of the session, obviously catch up on the good use of the languages, and Toastmaster Dannan has set the pace for the day. We'll also be mindful about what we are speaking, conscious about what we are speaking, so that we limit our ahs and oohs. So that's the aim for the accountant and grammarian. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Dannan.
Thank you very much. It's always lovely to hear your words, Toastmaster Sumya. And the last role of the day that I would like to introduce is actually the word master of the day, and I am taking this role as well. So I would like to start with straight away with introducing the word for the day. I hope that everybody tries to use this word at least once in their speeches. And the word for today is prominent. In the dictionary, prominent is an adjective. It means standing out so as to be seen easily, particularly noticeable, standing out beyond the adjacent surface or line, projecting, leading, important, or well-known. I think many of us have heard this word before. And to give an example for prominent, you can see this very famous photo that I'm sharing. And the example would be her eyes are her most prominent feature. I would like to get any volunteers that can use this word.
Yeah, thank
In
you.
a sentence.
Thank you, Word Master. Thank you, Word Master, Dannan. And today we have a prominent Toastmaster as a Toastmaster of the day. And I am happy to see the prominent Sharjah Toastmasters in our meeting. And thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster Muhammad.
Toastmaster Dannan, can I interfere? Unless I'm mistaken, it is prominent should be N-E-N-T.
Okay.
Prominent.
All right. Apologies about that.
I know the reason I have just corrected is that, so that everyone will have the correct understanding. I can see that you have mentioned, when you gave the example, you have mentioned down below the correct one, but on the top, when it is in the bold, it could be, what do you call, an oversight, just for the understanding of everyone.
Definitely. So our word is prominent. Anybody would like to volunteer with an example? Toastmaster Rakesh.
All our guests are prominent for Sharjah Toastmasters meeting.
All right, very good. Toastmaster Rakesh, I want to hear your sentence.
A very good evening, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Muhammad Dannan. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
So, a prominent businessman is the one actually who think about the reputation of the brand, what he is representing, rather than the revenue.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Very nice. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Rakesh. And now I would like to move to the first section for today's meeting, and that is the prepared speeches. The first speech that we will listen to is the icebreaker speech delivered by one of our new Toastmasters. She is new but very energetic, and that is our Toastmaster Privata. I hope I'm pronouncing the name correctly. Before we introduce Toastmaster Privata, I would like to introduce the evaluator. and that is Toastmaster
Toastmaster
Priya.
Toastmaster Dannan, Toastmaster Dannan, sorry to interrupt you. Still, she didn't log in, or she may log in with another name. I'm not sure. Otherwise, we will go to the next speaker, please.
Yeah, I called her. She didn't pick the call. I'm not sure whether she's joining or not.
Okay. All right. That's not a problem. Let's move on. Our second speaker for the day is Toastmaster Preeti, and she will be delivering her L1 P2 first speech. And the evaluator for this speech is Toastmaster Rakesh. Toastmaster Rakesh, if you could please tell us about the objectives of this speech.
Yeah, sure.
Please, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. So Toastmaster Preeti is giving her second speech of level 1. And the purpose of the speech of this project is to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback to the second speech. And the purpose of the speech is basically to demonstrate that she had applied the feedback received from her first speech. And the title of the speech is Jack of All, Master of None. Toastmaster Preeti, back to you. Okay, Toastmaster of the day, back to you.
Thank you very much. Toastmaster Preeti, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you, sir. Yes.
Welcome.
Yeah. So, Jack of all trades, master of none. How many of you have heard about this? No problem. I will explain with my own examples. I was fortunate to spend most of my childhood days in a wonderful place called Tamil Nadu, where culture is utmost important. Yes, or I should say their prominent character is to uphold culture, to cherish their culture, and to pass it on to the next generation. So I was very fortunate to be there, and I too learned their culture. And one of the prominent part of their culture is a art form called Bharatanatyam. So I have also learned that in my childhood days. Then I was fortunate to have a teacher from Kalakshetra who taught me this dance form. And I continued the journey with this dance for some time, and I had given many stage performances with that. And as my nature, my nature is like after some time I get lazy and I drop it off. That is how I am. So after some time, I started finding out some reason to stop it, saying I have to study or I'm fully engaged with my study. So I had moved on. Then I stopped it, but I cannot be without anything. So I moved on. After some time, I got hold of music, Carnatic music. Again, that's another art form, prominent art form in Tamil Nadu, Carnatic music. So I started off with that. My father being a singer, he encouraged me so much. He told me that early morning, 5 o'clock, you wake up and you sit and do sadhana. Sadhana means it's practice, continuous practice. So in order to tune the vocal cords, you need to do sadhana. So I selected this, I started doing the sadhana in my brother's room. From then onwards, he stopped sleeping. I can explain. Please hear me out. Sasare rega sarega sasare rega gama mare rega gama rega mare rega gama ma papa ga gama ma pa gama pa ga gama ma papa da mama papa da ma pa da mama papa da dani ni papa da dani pa dani papa da dani ni sasa sasa ni da sani da sasa ni da da papa ni da da pa ni da da papa mama da da papa ma da papa mama ga ga papa mama ga papa mama ga ga re mama ga ga re mama ga ga re sasa. Just imagine early morning, 5 o'clock, somebody is sitting very close to you and starting off like this. So that is how I spoiled his sleep in his childhood days. till today, he keeps repeating that. Because of me, he couldn't sleep all his life. Then moved on with that for some time. And again, my laziness popped out, and I started finding out another reason, saying I'm in higher grades, I cannot manage with singing classes, so let me stop. So there I stopped. Then moved on, and next I was pretty good with drawing. So I thought, let me start off with this. Then I thought, not normal drawing. I wanted something different, where I went for mural painting. Mural painting is one of the oldest form of painting in India, where you can this you will find in temples and old temples and palace. This is one of the painting which I did. And can you guess how much time I took to paint this? 1.5 years. And this is made out of just 3 colors. Now, right now, this is not out of natural color, but usually mural painting is done with the natural color. And I have used only 3 colors here: blue, green, and yellow. With that, you need to complete the whole picture. It required a lot of patience and a lot of dedication, because you are drawing, you are shading one over the other for many days. Then only it completes. But one advantage of this is that it is quite costly. It's costly because it requires a lot of time. This painting, I was not doing it continuously, but I spent a lot of time. Like every weekend, I used to sit with this. I spent 1.5 years to complete this. So I was interested in this for some time. Then after some time, as usual, my laziness popped out and I stopped this. So I was continuing like this year after year. But I cannot sit simply. I need to find out something new. But I was never becoming a master in any of these. Yes, finally, now I have landed up here as Toastmaster. I don't know till when I will continue. As of now, I feel I will continue for a longer time. And so my message is that it is okay to be a jack of all trade, but master of none. But then at times you will not be able to use your skills, because do you know singing? Yes. But are you confident? Not so much. Do you do dance? Yes. Are you confident? Not so much. This is the attitude. So my message is, don't be a jack of all trade. Take up one thing and become a master in that. Then you will also benefit out of it. And definitely that art form or that form will also benefit from you. So you can contribute more to something if you are really a master over it. So that's it. Thank you so much.
Toastmaster Dannan, please unmute. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much, Toastmaster Preeti, for this wonderful speech. Actually, I can only agree and second what you have said. I think you reminded me of one saying I think it was by Bruce Lee, the famous fighter and actor. He said, I am never afraid of somebody who tried different kicks 10,000 times. But I am always afraid of somebody who tried one kick 10,000 times. So it's important to focus our efforts, as you said. Thank you very much again for this wonderful speech. Our third speaker for the day is a very distinguished one. Actually, he is very calm in his personality. He is a civil engineer and project management professional. And he is a prominent name in the construction industry and a VP of membership in Sharjah Toastmaster Club. The third speaker is Mr. Shiva, and the evaluator for Mr. Shiva is Mr. Ramesh. Mr. Ramesh, please, if you would like to tell us about the objectives of this speech. And the speech is titled, You Are What You Eat. Please.
Sure, Mohammed. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. My assigned speaker, Toastmaster Shiva, is attempting today is project 3 from level 1. His project objective today is for the purpose of this project is for the member to learn or review basic research methods and present a well-organized, well-researched speech on any topic. The speech timing is 5 to 7 minutes. All the best, Toastmaster Shiva.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Ramesh. Toastmaster Shiva, the floor is yours. We are very excited about your topic. Please proceed.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
A recent study revealed 90% of UAE residents suffers from vitamin D deficiency. 41% of all the death in UAE are caused due to cardiovascular diseases. Heart attacks are quite common among young population today in UAE. 25% of the UAE residents are obese, which is much higher than the global average. Today, most of all live an unhealthy life due to sedentary lifestyles, most stressful jobs, and due to high calorific food intake. Good health is the foundation for happiness, and being healthy is most important to lead a long and happy life. The greatest gift you can give to your family and to the world is a healthy you. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. A recent study compiled the list of top 10 healthiest countries in the world. Let me share a slide. The top 10 healthiest countries in the world. Most of the study says that Japan is the most healthiest country in the world, followed by Switzerland and Spain. Of late, Spain is slowly catching up. In fact, some of the few researchers shows that Spain is the healthiest countries in the world. What's more intriguing is you can see a lot of European nations in the top 10 list, like Switzerland, Spain, Italy, Iceland, Norway, and France. Thanks to their Mediterranean diet and other environmental factors like clean water and sanitation. Today, we'll speak about Japan because Japan is consistently topping the chart as the most healthiest country in the world in so many researches for so long. And Japan is also the home for the largest centenarian population. That is people whose age is more than 100 years. What makes Japan so special? What is the secret for the long and healthy diet, healthy life? It is believed the long life expectancy of Japanese people is linked to their diet. Japanese people has established a diet to lead a long and healthy life. Their diet is low in sugar, low in animal protein, low in calories, and nutrition-wise well balanced, which safeguards them from type 2 diabetes and other heart diseases. What they eat exactly? Let's see what they eat. Let me share a small scene. This is a typical meal of Japanese people look like. They have a small bowl of rice with some vegetables, and they have a soup, which they call as miso soup, followed by a seaweed. It's a marine plant packed with a lot of minerals, antioxidants, proteins, fibers, and omega fats. And they have tofu, which is considered as the most healthiest Japanese food. And then they have fish. They eat a lot of seafood compared to the red meat. And they have some soya bean and some fermented foods. Fermented foods has a lot of health benefits because like it'll give you a better digestion, and it also boosts the immune system. This is what they eat, Japanese people. Let us compare the Japanese people food with other countries, like other selected countries. The following table, this table shows that food consumption quantity of in kg per person per capita per year. Just compare the food consumption quantity of Japan with Canada, France, Italy, and USA. For example, beef. Japanese people eat much less beef compared to all other countries like Canada, France, Italy, and USA. They eat less pork compared to all countries. They eat less poultry compared to all other countries.
And if you see the fish and seafood, they eat a lot of seafood compared to all other countries. They are around 48. Other countries are nowhere near. And next is dairy products. They eat much less compared to all other countries, followed by rice. Rice, they eat a lot of rice. And then they have potatoes. Potatoes, they consume very less. And then sugar and sweeteners, they consume very less sugar compared to all other countries. And then we have fruits. They consume very less fruits. And soybean. Soybean, if you see, they have consuming a lot of soybean compared to all other countries. And then they have tea. Tea, they are consuming more. It is pretty evident from this table. They consume a lot of seafood and soybean compared to the red meat and sugar. This is the secret of their healthy diet. We all seen how healthy diet the Japanese people are following. It's not only the healthy diet, it's also what is the healthy eating behavior they follow. It's not only what they eat, it's also how they eat. Japanese people, they follow two simple rules. One is they never use a larger plates for eating like us. They always use only smaller plates. There are a lot of portions of components of food is served in a very smaller plate, small and varied plates, like what I have shown in my previous slide. Why they use a smaller plate is because it naturally diversifies their food, and also it practices portion control and mindful eating. And the second rule they follow is 80% rule. There is a very common saying which originated from the Okinawa, is a Japanese village, which is harahachibu, which they used to repeat every time before and after they eat, which means like fill only 80% of your belly. Because Japanese people, they never overeat. When their belly is 80% full, they stop eating. This is some of the good habits you have to learn from Japanese people. So we have learned how Japanese people has established a healthy diet and healthy behavior to eat the food. It's time that we also should inculcate some of their healthy eating behavior in our life to lead a long and healthy life. Please ensure to consume less processed food, less sugar, less soft drinks, and less refined foods, and what do you call, and the less food. So I would like to complete my speech by saying the greatest investment you can make is the healthy life. Thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Shiva. It was a wonderful speech, and we could only probably all of us need to pay more attention to our healthy eating habits in order for us to enjoy a healthy life. I think one key take of your speech is definitely to eat less and specifically focus on the healthy alternatives. Thank you again. It was a wonderful speech. Our fourth speaker for the day is Toastmaster Johnny Xavier. He is doing his mentoring project number 2. Toastmaster Johnny Xavier, please, the floor is yours.
Good evening, Toastmasters and guests.
Good evening.
Yeah, I will read out the purpose of this speech. The purpose of this speech is for the member to apply mentoring skills during a long-term mentoring commitment. The purpose of this speech is also for the member to share some aspects of his or her experience as a member, as a mentor. So here, I have few points that what I have experienced when I was a mentor during this tenure with Toastmasters Club. The first point what I was mentioning to my mentee was the spoken language what they use must be having a clarity. whatever language they use during the speech, that must be understood by the audience to whom, they listen. Only then you will get a better response on the speech what they deliver wherever they are. Then the next point what I was telling is vocal variety. During the speech, in the vocal variety, that you have to use many type of tones, considering the way how he has drafted the speech. Whether a father talks to a son, or son speak to a father, or considering the situations, it keeps on changing it. Sometimes you have to use your voice little louder, and sometimes it has to be lesser. And either the speed during the speech also it can be managed. These tools, if you use it, you can enhance, it can reach to the audience very freely, and they will understand what you want to deliver. Then the eye contact. You have to effectively use the contact with all the audience. If the audience sitting in an oval shape, you have to scan like from your left to the right. And what you must have seen certain times, some people might be nodding their heads, thinking like they don't like the speech, or some people might be giving you some kind of positive vibe to your speech. So you have to identify during your speech who is giving you the positive vibe of your speech. Try to find out 2 or 3 such kind of people. Hook them. While speaking, try to look at them and continue your speech. So what happens, even if you are slightly nervous during the speech, you can continue the speech without any lack of courage. Then the next one comes in the gestures. Everybody knows it, that gestures are very much needed in a public speaking. Every time, even when you say the numbers, like there are 3 items, say you can say number 1, number 2, number 3, or otherwise use your gestures the way that it needs, it demands. Maybe there are times that you have to spread your hands. There are times that you have to show your hands to the back side or to the right hand side, or wherever it comes. Maybe anything, maybe the bigger one or smaller one. It depends upon what it demands. Then it comes the audience awareness. You must know about your audience every time, to whom that you are going to deliver the speech. Whether you are speaking to the audience where they understand the language what you deliver or not. I will tell you a small example fast. I was in a meeting where a father said, see, my daughter got an award from her school and she wanted to deliver that speech in front of you all. She started delivering the speech. Believe me, even, of course, even for me also, it just stood over the head, because the language what she used was, many people didn't understand. She was so fast, and the vocabularies she used it was very difficult to understand. So you must understand to whom that you are delivering that particular time. You must slow down that pitch and the pose you have to give accordingly. Then the comfort level. Big comfort. You have to show your comfort level to the audience. Even if you have not prepared very well, see, like me, you must be so courageous, standing in front of the people as if that you know everything. And so that people will feel that, yeah, come on, see, the person who is delivering the speech, he knows it something. So always act as a courageous person when you stand in front of a public. Then the interest, engage the audience always with the interesting subject. If you can engage the audience with interesting subject, you can always hook them with your subject and the topic. Anything what you speak, that must be connected with them. You must always try to speak something from the heart so that they will understand as a natural speaker, instead of simply by hearting something and delivering in front of them. And last but not the least, always keep in your speech some kind of personal touch. You know, your personal stories, your personal things, nobody else can speak in the public because it's your own personal thing. When you speak that personal stories or incident which happened to you, people will be definitely interested to listen that. Instead of something else, maybe like a motivational or inspiring speech or anything. So all these things you can attach, or you can inform your mentees during your speech. That will be an added advantage for them to deliver their speeches very well. I can tell you, I am fortunate to have been the mentor of few DTMs. And even the mentees to whom I was the mentor, they are in a high level even now. I'm happy to see that. My dear Toastmasters and guests, what I wanted to tell you, when you become a mentor of someone, have a friendship and try to be with them as a friend. Never be a boss. Whenever they need any support, be with them, support them. It is not necessary that you know better than your mentee. There are certain times that you may not be knowing it than him. Be a friend. As a friend, you can be a better mentor to anyone. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Master Johnny, for this very inspirational and very informative tips for everybody who wants to be a master at speaking. Thank you. Now we would like to hear again from our trusted timer, Toastmaster Soumya. If you can please present your timer report.
Certainly, Toastmaster of the day. Well, we started off with speaker 2, Toastmaster Preeti, who was the first speaker of this evening, and she took 5 minutes and 56 seconds. Our second speaker, which in order is speaker 3, was Toastmaster Shiva. He took 7 minutes and 19 seconds. And our final speaker, Toastmaster Johnny, took 8 minutes and 41 seconds. Now, Toastmaster Johnny's speech was 8 to 10 minutes. Correct, Toastmaster Johnny? Your allotted time was 8 to 10 minutes.
Yes.
Am I correct?
Yes, yes.
So Toastmaster Johnny took 8 minutes, 41 seconds. So all the 3 speakers qualify for voting. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Dannan.
Very nice. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Soumya. I want to touch again on the topic of the day. which is the business ethics, and the attribute that I started talking about, which was the reputation. And I think in some cultures, especially in the Arabic culture, reputation still plays an important role in one thing at least, and that is while getting married. I know that usually in the Arabic culture, when somebody tries to propose to a girl, the parents of this girl would usually say, "Thank you very much. Please allow us for 1 week or so to ask about you." And during this week, usually the life of this groom-to-be would be scrutinized by his friends. They would ask his friends, they would ask his business partners, anybody who knows him, about his morals, his doings, what he likes, what he doesn't like, what's his personality like. I am really intrigued to know if other cultures have the same approach. If somebody would like to share a story within these lines, I would really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Toastmaster.
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead, Toastmaster Kanti.
Yeah, thank you. I will tell my story, then I will tell the ethics, what we are following in our culture.
All right, please, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. Actually, 2013, I married. My wife is 1 year older than me. I will tell the ethics. This is a one-line story. I will tell the ethics in India, and particularly in my place. We respect the elders. That is a business ethics and the family ethics. So now I would like to combine. I respect my wife because she is my elder. She's older than me. Thank you. And over to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Kanti. Toastmaster Nagrajan, would you like to share with us? Distinguished Toastmaster.
For me, yeah. Actually, being a table topics master, I will tell something before I start the topics.
All right. All right. Okay. That's a promise. Anybody else would like to share something really quick, or we can move ahead. We can actually start the voting for the best speaker. If you can share with us, Kanti.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you, Toastmaster Dannan. My dear Toastmasters. And the voting is on, your polling is started, and I request only the Toastmasters are eligible for this voting. In table topic voting, for polling in table topics, all can vote. We received 16 votes out of 22. If you include me, 17. My dear friends, please use your rights. Thank you. Awesome. Over to you, Toastmaster Dannan.
Thank you very much. Now we would like to move on to our second part of our meeting today, and that is the table topics section. Leading this section is definitely a prominent figure of our Toastmaster Club, a person with wealth of stories and experiences to share. To introduce our table topics, please welcome distinguished Toastmaster Nagrajan. Toastmaster Nagrajan, the floor is yours.
Yeah. Thank you, Toastmaster Dannan, and my dear fellow members and guests. Table topics is an interesting session for everyone to get participated, but only very few people will take the first step to come inside. All will be telling bye-bye from outside. It is like giving a dysentery tablets to the person. Only the person who takes it will know. Regarding the theme, business ethics, I really liked it. That's why I mentioned it in my post also, because very few people talks about the ethics, especially in business. Frankly speaking, after the pandemic, it is a good or bad, this ethics was in the air. Nobody was following it in truth and spirit. Only on paper, business ethics exist. When it comes to the business, real business, somewhere or other, the characters, the features, what you mentioned at the beginning of your Toastmasters speech, you mentioned reputation, honesty, trust, relationship, all these things are flown. What is there in store for me today? Will I survive? Based on this, I take the ethics. Unless otherwise, you are in a well-reputed organizations in a very permanent position, or which your position is very safe. Most of us are expatriates or dependent on the employer's gratitude. So, business ethics, in principle, technically, grammatically to be followed, but in reality, it is very less. It's my opinion, purely. Now let us go back to our session. We all, since the theme is business ethics, I framed few questions in my mind, which I would like to ask. Let me first ask one senior member so that he will be a guidance to the other guests if they are interested to come forward and speak, so that they will know what to speak if the table topics is posed to them. I would like to invite my close friend, Venkatesh Nagarajan is there. Today he is not having any role, but he joined partially. Can you please switch on your video? Yes, thank you. It is a question which is, how justified it is for Bill Gates to charge heavily for the Microsoft products and then transfer the profits as a donation to his charity or foundation? I repeat, how justified it is for the Bill Gates to charge heavily for the Microsoft products and transfer the profits as donation to charity or his foundation? Your time starts now.
The most popular saying which comes to my mind is, charity begins from home. Bill Gates probably is living to those principles in a very tight manner because he is in the business of software. He is in the business of making money, selling products, and these products don't come cheap or at low price. They come for a good price. The margins are very high. At some point of time in life, we also do things like what Bill Gates is doing in a large scale. Suppose you win a lottery tomorrow. Say you become a mushroom millionaire or you win the national bonds. At least in the corner of the heart, you will get a feeling that I should donate something towards charity. Well, it's a good thought. It's a noble deed. I fully agree. But coming to the logic of charging exorbitant and as well as donating, it is more looking like a fundraising campaign. I do not see any kind of ethics behind this, because at one end, he is earning profits and at the other end, he is earning popularity. Popularity brings him into be a successful businessman, and being a successful businessman facilitates him to do more charities. So I only see it to be a very vulnerable or a vicious cycle in which the way in which funds are generated and the way in which the funds are channelized are ultimately giving credit only to the same person. Therefore, I wish to conclude with this remark that ethics lies in actually parting with something without expecting anything in return. If I give from my right hand, my left hand should not know that I donated. But whereas the example which our topics master gave today, according to me, doesn't sound ethical. Over to you, topics master.
Well done. Good. Now you all know how table topics is to be delivered. You have opening, body and conclusion, and what is in your mind and where you took the stand. Now I would like to invite my special guest, Pramila. Pramila Vas?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
For you, I framed a simple one, since you are a guest today, first time.
Okay.
Work hard or work smart? Which one you prefer? Work hard or work smart? Which one you prefer and why?
Okay. In today's times, I would say we have to work smart than work hard. Okay, because I have seen people working very hard, and I don't think they are, getting what they are actually deserve. But there are some people, I can say that youngsters, they work smart, and I feel, they are definitely are more popular, and they are getting good promotion, and they are the work graph is increasing. So that's why I would say that. Otherwise, to think of it, I can say it has to be balanced. Maybe working hard and working smart has to be balanced also. Yeah, you should not be like only work hard. Then there should be little smartness added to the work when you are working hard, and that both together, I think, work very well. So I think I will conclude. I think balancing is needed for both working hard and working smart. Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah. Thank you.
Now, well done. Well done. Being the debut maiden attempt, you have done it well.
Okay. Thank you.
Good. Now, let me call one more new guest who is Eileen Krindo. I think she's last time I saw her in the Eileen.
Yeah.
Yeah, well done. Come. Now you know the topic, sorry, the theme and all. Are you working?
Yes.
Okay, good. Other than money, what motivates you to go to the office? Other than money, what motivates you to go to the office? Your time starts.
Okay, so for most people, most of our time is spent at the office. I spend about a third of my day at the office, and that means a lot to me. So this is a time that has to be meaningful to me. So I value a lot the relationships that I have with my coworkers. So other than money, because even here in the UAE, I'm just on myself. I'm just by myself. My family is back in my home country. Others are in other countries. So if I wasn't working and spending the whole day at home, that means I would spend the day alone, and that would have been a boring life. So I think I love the productivity. I love being productive at work. I love having good relationships with others. So over during lunchtime and even during working hours, we do have some, some friendly chit chat with my coworkers. It's a very small office, and I work with very, very friendly coworkers. And I think that's what motivates me to get up every day, take a shower, and go to work, other than money. Thank you, DTM.
Well done. Well done. Now, let me go to the gallery view. Who I can catch now? One more new person is there. Rija, are you ready? Okay. What type of question I can ask you?
Something simple to
Are
begin
you
with.
okay? Are you also a working woman?
Yes.
Okay. What is the one thing which you are not comfortable in your company now? What is the one thing which you are not comfortable in your company now? Your time starts now.
Yes. Everything is fine, except maybe, I don't know whether I can say, maybe looking forward to a raise in salary, which is not the only thing. Since you are asking me for one thing now, I'm just putting it. That's all. Otherwise, I love my job. It is a passion for the job that takes me to school every day. Maybe when as a leader, I would like to see the smile on the face of my staff, and they're all looking forward for an increment, which has been delayed because of the pandemic. It was I cannot think of anything negative about my job. So I just putting this forward. I just love what I'm doing, and I'm feeling bad to tell you that we're looking for a monetary benefit as I'm putting it forward, because it is what all the people are looking for at present. Otherwise, I'm very, very happy in what I'm doing. Thank you.
Well
Thank
done.
you, Toastmasters.
Well done. I will convey your proposal to your company, inshallah. Now, my another dear Toastmaster, my mentor too, I always consult him for anything which I want to do in the Toastmasters, always thinks out of the box. Let me see what he is going to think for my table topic this time. Jayesh, Jay.
Okay, am I visible? Okay.
Yes. Okay. Are you ready? Okay.
Tell me.
Yeah. In the name of COVID, payment to suppliers can be delayed. In the name of COVID, payment to suppliers can be delayed. Your justification. Time starts.
Well, our theme is CSR. No, our theme is business ethics, right? So if this question in that context, if I have to speak in that line of thoughts, then I have to say that business ethics is something that has to have a lot of base, lot of support in your functioning, in your doing ethics or the morals or all that thing, because one has to show the business ethics towards so many things, towards society, towards customer, towards environment, towards government, towards competitors, towards suppliers and everything. So yes, you have to honor your deals, you have to honor your payment terms. But when it's a COVID, when it's a pandemic, that is something that has been declared by the world body, the things have gone in disarray. Obviously, if there is no support, if there is no resources for you to honor your commitments, I would not say that it is breach of business ethics, but your intent should be that you will muster the resources, you will take it from your sundry debtors, and you will justifyingly, or you will make it possible, you will leave no stone unturned to make sure that you arrange the payment or the fund from anywhere, from whatever legitimated sources you have, and you have the intent to pay. I think in that scenario, where everyone is, your suppliers are also affected, and they also know the fact. You don't have to tell them in in an elaborated way, because they know. Therefore, I say that yes, you can delay, but do make sure that you have the intention to pay, and that will not be the breach of business ethics. Over to you.
I appreciate your opinion. Thank you. Now I have one final question, because time is also coming to a close. Who else is ready now?
Yeah, Toastmaster John Moon is there ready.
John Moon Xavier. Yes, John Moon, I'm asking you. There are no mistakes or failures, only lessons in life. There are no mistakes or failures, only lessons in life. Your opinion and views. Time starts now.
Toastmaster, we cannot hear you. If you can.
Okay. Good evening, Toastmasters, especially Sharjah Toast. I'm attending your meeting. Thank you for giving an opportunity. Here, my subject is everything. See, it's lessons. Mistakes are never be a mistake. It is a stepping stone to our another success. Whenever we commit a mistake, it's not a mistake. There is a lesson to learn, and these lessons whenever we find a mistake in our life. These lessons help us to come and help us to rise in our life. See, even when you think of Abdul Kalam, his first launching of the rocket was a failure. Failure took him to the success. So thinking of failure or mistake, we should never stop trying. We should always try. Whenever you try, the child, when he starts to walk, he falls down. Then he starts to walk. That falling down is not a mistake. From there, he learns how to walk, how to rise, how to go up in the life. See, this is life and mistake are two sides of the thing. Once the mistake comes, the mistake takes a person to another path. So the mistakes are not more a mistake. It's a lesson which he allowed to learn. It gives him the experience. Thank you.
Kanti, can I go for one more or sign it off?
Time up, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Dannan. And I hope you all enjoyed this table topic session, which I want to be a little bit out of the box. Though I have a lot of questions about the business ethics, still I have to limit myself in line with the theme, also in line with the local customs and guidelines. That's why I did not cross the line. Thank you very much. Back to you.
Thank you very much, distinguished Toastmaster Nagrajan. It's always a pleasure to listen to your very frank and direct opinion, and I would really love to take this opportunity to discuss business ethics in details at one chance, probably in the future. Moving on, I would like to call on Toastmaster Soumya for the timers report.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dannan. Well, we had 6 speakers. Speaker number 1, DTM Venkatesh, took 2 minutes and 4 seconds. Speaker number 2, guest Pramila Vaz, took 1 minute and 6 seconds. Speaker number 3, guest Ellen Urichirindo, took 1 minute and 22 seconds. Speaker number 4, Toastmaster Rija Gopinath, took 1 minute and 12 seconds. Speaker number 5, DTM Jayeshwit, took 2 minutes and 18 seconds. And the final speaker, speaker number 6, Toastmaster John Mon Xavier, took 1 minute and 11 seconds. So all 6 of them qualify for the voting. And just to let you know, Toastmaster Dannan, we are running ahead of time. You are a star. Obviously, there was 1 speaker less, but you are a star. We were supposed to close this at 8:44. We are right now at 8:33, 11 minutes before time. Fantastic, Mohammed Dannan. Over to you.
Very good, very good to hear. I will use these 10 minutes at the end with a discussion with the distinguished Toastmaster Nagrajan. Thank you very much for this report. And I think we can start the voting for best table topic speaker. Toastmaster Kanti, if you can please put the voting up.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Dannan. Yeah, now the polling is on your screen. Yeah, all can vote, even the guest also can vote in table topics. DTM Nagarajan ji, your time, as per I checked, that's why I told the time up. But as per the Toastmaster Soumya said, the entire meeting. So we are ahead of 10 minutes. And if you want to ask after the voting also, you may go. Thank you. Thank you for the voting, and over to you, Toastmaster Dannan.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Kanti. And now I think we can move on to the next section of our meeting, which is the evaluations. And this is where we get feedback about the speeches and the speakers and the table topic speakers and everybody. And this is where we should take notes and focus so we can implement these notes and achieve greatness. To do the introduction of evaluators, we have one Toastmaster that, in my opinion, he is the helping hand for everybody. He is the most supportive Toastmaster that I've ever seen, I've ever came across, and that is Toastmaster Kanti. Toastmaster Kanti, please do the introduction for evaluators and role players. Over to
Thank you. Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, and for the wonderful meeting. And please give him a big round of applause, and also to the table topic master, DTM Nagarajan, also for conducting well. DTM Nagarajan, sir, do you want to ask any more topics? You have more topics, so you may ask one or two. Still, we have the time.
No, I would be very happy if you finish the meeting before the scheduled time. Then in the end, I will ask questions.
Okay, thank you, sir. And we will be there in the even after the meeting networking also. You can ask thousands of questions. We are ready to answer. Thank you so much. And good evening, my lovable Sharjah Toastmasters and members and guests. I am your general evaluator, and my role is to evaluate the entire meeting, and also I need to give some suggestions for the improvements and where we are doing well and where we need to do well. That's why. So I would like to share the agenda so we can go with that agenda also. In that one, files. Okay, I will in the during the course of the meeting I will share. And now we had 3 fantastic speakers. For Toastmaster Preeti, and she delivered her level 1 project 2. To evaluate her, Toastmaster Rakesh is there, and also our next speaker, Toastmaster Shiva. To evaluate Toastmaster Shiva, we have our past area director, Toastmaster Ramesh. And at the end, I will ask our wordmasters to give the report, and also our grammarian, Wikipedia Toastmaster Soumya, and the end for giving the grammarian report. And so we will go to that one. And before that, I would like to give one. I would like to tell about 2 that evaluators. That your time limit is 2 to 3 minutes to evaluate your target speaker's speech. That is 2 minutes our timer. Toastmaster Soumya will show the green, and 2 minutes 30 seconds he will show the amber, and 3 minutes his face will be red. And you have to be alert, and you have 30 seconds to go also, and otherwise you are not eligible for the voting. We will see the evaluation. Evaluation is a very important role in the Toastmasters, because it is a deciding factor to improve the quality of our meeting as well as the speaker. Now we have the best team in our evaluation panel. So I would like to invite Toastmaster Rakesh to evaluate our first speaker, Toastmaster Preeti. Over to you, Toastmaster Rakesh.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kanti, our general evaluator today. And a very good evening and a warm welcome to the guest, and very good evening to all fellow Toastmasters. And special the good evening to my target speaker, Toastmaster Preeti. The title of the speech was "Jack of all trades is a master of none." What a natural speech. I understand one thing: a good speech attracts the audience, keep them engaged throughout the speech. However, a best speech which comes naturally from the heart, and it connects the audience and the speakers. And this kind of the speech is always remembered. It remains in the heart. She started with the personal anecdotes. She started her interest from of a dance, and then moved to the music, and then later to the painting. And always throughout the speech, she was talking of how there was a shifting from the dance interest to the music interest, and so on, so forth. And it was a very humorous. And it happens all of us. Everyone can relate to their own story. And the moment she started the song, it was so soothing and beautiful. It gains attention of all. My target speaker, Toastmaster Preeti, given very wonderful speech. I think she achieved her purpose here in this speech. The speech was very engaging, very humorous, and very clear voice. The speech was well logically structured, and it reminded us all how relevant the topic is in our day-to-day life. And speech body was well structured, as I said. Actually, it started from the personal story, and then it went in a proper flow. It was at the end, it was very developed in a logical conclusion, and definitely, multi-skilled is a need of an hour, and we all need to be multi-skilled. But this is the title is something like a half story, which is like Jack of all trades is a master of none. Whereas if you see the balance half, which says, but better than to be a master of one. So, see, I think so. She did very justice to the speech, and every speech has some recommendation. I can, if I have to say, I can recommend her to stand little far from the camera, set the camera position properly, and so that actually we can see the body language while talking. Although actually the voice modulation was fantastic, no doubt in that, but we could not see her hand gestures and like actually body movements, and like actually while speaking, what I'll recommend from the next speech onwards, actually let's see move, rather than standing at one place and giving the speech. It's better to move here and there and keep the audience engaged with that. So that's all. We all enjoyed a speech, and it was a very great, very beautiful, and a very structured speech. Thank you, the Toastmaster Preeti. We will look forward to see such speeches in future as well. And of course, actually, we want to hear this kind of the songs again and again. Thank you very much. Back to you, General Auditor.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rakesh. My dear Toastmasters, please give him a very big round of applause for his evaluation. Actually, in evaluation, there are four parts. Actually, for the benefit of guest, I would like to mention there are four parts in the evaluation. There is a first one, the evaluator will analyze the speech, and then what the speaker did well. So the positive points they will mention, then they will give the recommendations and with the techniques, and finally they will conclude. Well done, Toastmaster Rakesh. And for our next speaker was Toastmaster Shiva, and he talked about what we need to eat. So to evaluate this wonderful subject, we have one healthy person, and he is the right person because he will tell what we need to eat also. Very sporty man, and I saw a lot of videos when he was running and attending the Dubai Fitness Challenge, and he was the past area director, area 47 director of our Toastmasters fraternity, and he was achieved President Distinguished Area. So with the proud, I would like to welcome our past area director and our past president, Toastmaster Ramesh Korat. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Kanti. That was really a nice introduction. Thank you so much. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, and a special good evening to my assigned speaker, Toastmaster Shiva. Today, Toastmaster Shiva's objective was to do a research, organize a speech, come in front of an audience and deliver a speech. That's exactly what Shiva did today. He did a thorough study about his topic, which is how to improve healthy, how to carry a healthy lifestyle. And not only that, he come up with facts, figures, tips, how to improve, how to have healthy lifestyle. The moment when Toastmaster Shiva mentioned the people in Japan eat less dairy product, I was eating this dairy product. So I keep it aside as soon as he mentioned this point. So your speech has a real impact, Toastmaster Shiva. It's a great speech, fantastic speech, a lot of takeaway messages. I wanted to highlight a few of them. One is what I like about your speech is transition. Today you come to us with a problem statement. You mentioned what exactly the problem we are facing. 25% of UAE residents are obese. It's a major problem, it's a critical problem. And he slowly take us to the solution. How you take us to the solution? He mentioned who all are maintaining the healthy lifestyle across the globe, starting from Japan, Spain, and the list goes on. And he take us to Japan and he's inform us how the Japanese people are maintaining healthy lifestyles. So that those transition from problem statement to the solution and the conclusion all were very well done. Thank you so much. And the next thing is you bring some visual representation. You show us that chart on the screen. So it's very much clear who is top on the list in terms of life expectancy. And you show us that small picture, the picture of Japanese regular meal, which is very much clear. And the last one, what I like about today's speech is, Toastmaster Shiva, you were confident. You showed ample confidence today. I think you did a lot of research on this topic, and that shows in your presentation today. You are using hand gestures. Your eye contact was very much focused, and you're well dressed. Fantastic. Any speech can make it better. So what I can give you some suggestion, what I felt, in my opinion. I know in most of the speeches, we all tend to do some kind of unconscious movement. So what I noticed today, you were moving your shoulder in both ways throughout the speech. It's give the impression to the audience that maybe you're nervous, though you're not nervous. I know you did ample research. So like my Toastmaster Ragesh mentioned in his previous speech, stability give you credibility. So you may stay on this feet, or if you're making the movement, do a deliberate movement. Otherwise, this speech is really a takeaway message for all of us. And it's a fantastic speech. You are growing and maturing speaker. All the very best, Toastmaster Shiva, and over to you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Kanti. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ramesh Karat. My dear Toastmasters and guests, please give him a big round of applause. And I'm sure Toastmaster Shiva will take it in a positive way, and he will include all the recommendations, and he will improve in the upcoming speeches. And now our next speaker is Toastmaster, our mentor, one of our mentors, Toastmaster Johnny Xavier. Because he is giving the mentor speech, but I'm not going to leave without evaluation. So I request our mentors here. We have a lot of mentors, DTM Nagarajanji and DTM Srivalsanji. And also I would like to include our DTM, recent DTM, our president, Toastmaster DTM Rajesh also. And if Toastmaster Jay sir, are you available? And I request Toastmaster Baji sir to unmute also. So I request, we have the panel now. So I request you to give the your positive feedback as well as where he need to improve. So now I would like to ask one by one. First, I will go with DTM Srivalsan.
Good evening, Toastmasters. Yeah, good evening, Toastmasters. It is not fair for me to evaluate Xavier because I didn't listen to the speech. I was out of connection for some time. So I will excuse myself. As I am his mentor, I know I don't have any comments. I would love to listen to other people evaluating him. So Toastmaster Kanti, please excuse me because I didn't hear his speech actually. I was out of connection for that time. I came in only after the table topic section. So please excuse me from evaluating him.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. But I will not leave you alone. We have a recording and I will send you, and you got to give after the meeting. Now,
definitely. I am his mentor, so I will definitely look into his speech.
Thank you. Now I would like to go with DTM Nagarajan, sir.
Is this regarding Johnny's speech?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yes. See, the objectives were very clear. What was his experience as a mentor, and then narrate is in a very organized manner. He narrated his experience as a mentor with a different one, and it is purely his own experience. So we cannot impose it should be, could have been like this, or it should have been like this. What was his experience as a mentor? He narrated to us. So we have to accept that, because that is what his experience as a mentor. We cannot change the script. So whatever he said is very true and exactly coming from his heart. I accept it. He did as what has been called for in the objectives. Well done, Johnny.
Thank you, DTM Nagarajanji. Please give a big round of applause to him. And now I request our President DTM Rajesh to give some tips to our mentor, Toastmaster Johnson.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kanti bro. So again, if you can just ask me the question, what exactly am I supposed to?
Please give where he did well in the mentor's speech, as well as in his duties. Also, if you have any recommendation for his speech to improve.
All right. Thank you so much. I had actually listened to Toastmasters Johnny's speech, quite concentrating. So I believe I would be in a position to. So to talk about his speech, what I really liked is, one, he spoke about the importance of many things, which I would say, but then the main thing was I liked is that specific point, what he had mentioned, that when you prepare a speech, be aware about the audience. That is, the speech should be not for the speaker, but for the audience. To know the audience and to prepare a speech for the audience is what everyone has to do. And that is a very valuable suggestion from Toastmaster Johnny. Again, he mentioned about the importance of vocal variety, about the prominence of clarity, body language, and the gestures. So that it was just like giving a comprehensive tip for the mentees to how to present a speech. Of course, it was not about how to craft a speech, because it was about how to present a speech. And another positive which I loved is like his advice, he expressing his happiness that when his mentees have gone to such high levels, that the happiness of a mentor in seeing his mentees reaching greater heights, that shows a true spirit of Johnny the mentor. And to give one suggestion about his speech today is that for a while I thought that it was like giving the speech about what it says that it should not be an explanation about how a speech should be, but at some point of time I felt it was the case. I wish he had spoken about some of his personal experiences where his mentor had asked him to change and how he coped up with that. That is one thing I would like to say.
Thank you, President and Toastmaster DTM Rajesh Sulail. And I'm sure our mentor, Toastmaster Johnny Xavier, will take all the in a positive way, and he will include in his upcoming speeches. I request the one man is always looking the clock and also the meeting. The man has many talents as per our TMOD and all of our, it's in our mind also. Please give a marvelous round of applause to welcome our timer, our grammarian Toastmaster Soumya Gandhi Lodh. Over to you, sir.
Just put the clock for another lap before I miss this out. Simple language, well delivered, is what I have as my observations for Toastmasters Johnny's mentoring speech. Yes, some personal snippets, some personal examples would have added flavor to the speech and given a direction for all our new members, newcomers, and budding Toastmasters to take their journey forward. Back to you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Kanti.
Thank you, sir. Both all are qualified? Both the evaluators?
I will just give you the time right now. Toastmaster Rakesh took 3 minutes and 39 seconds. So he overshot his allotted time by 9 seconds. Toastmaster Ramesh was on the dot, on the money, on the ball 3 minutes and 29 seconds. And as we speak, this impromptu session is standing around 5 minutes. Back to you, General Evaluator, Toastmaster.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Soumya-ji. And because we have only one speaker, evaluator was qualified, so I think no need to go for the voting. And thank you so much, Toastmaster Soumya-ji, for giving the report. And I will come back to you after taking the Webmasters report. Now, and also I would like to request all our audience and our Toastmasters and guests to open your camera. We will take the group photo also. And now I would like to go to our Webmaster, Toastmaster Dannan. Over to you, Toastmaster Dannan.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Kanti. Going back to the word of the day, prominent. So I actually chose a rather easy word, hoping that this word would be incorporated so much in the speeches. We have good numbers. We have, I think the word was used 5 times, apart from myself. If we are not counting me, the word was used 5 times, and it was used 1 time by our president, DTM Rajesh. It was used by you, Kanti. It was used by Toastmaster Soumya. It was used by Toastmaster Preeti as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dannan. Please give him a big round of applause. Please remove the sharing. Thank you so much. And now I come back to again our grammarian, Toastmaster Soumya Kanti Lodh, for giving the detailed report. He is one of our Oxford Dictionary in Sharjah Toastmasters Club. Over to you, sir.
Let's start with the positives for sure. And one thing that stood out, and let me bring my camera into gallery mode so that I can see the faces. One particular beautiful use of language, and why is she not putting her camera on? Toastmaster Preeti, that's you. And you know what stood out for me? You said, my laziness popped out. Now that's a beautiful way of bringing laziness out from your shelf. So I love that. Now, one thing that we all need to be careful about is we tend to get into the ahs and oohs. Right? Now, as our president had mentioned at the beginning of the session, we need to be careful when we are speaking. Well, generally, the ahs and the oohs happen to come during the impromptu sessions. Now, what are the impromptu sessions? We have the table topics to start off. We have the evaluation. That's where the tendency of resorting to filler words and ahs and oohs is generally higher. But it should not come at all in prepared speeches. So we need to be careful. We need to practice, rehearse. Best is for all budding project speakers. The way I do it is I record it on my mobile phone and then listen to it. Where have I gone wrong? Now that will cut out the ahs and those, that will cut out the improper usage of words. And we had a few improper usages. Very wonderful speech. Very is not required. Wonderful can do its job single-handedly. And if you feel you need to pack in a punch, say, awesome speech, fabulous speech, fantastic speech. I think these will take it to the next level. Quite concentrating is incorrect. It should be used as I was listening with full concentration. Right? We also have the tendency to get into filler words. You know, and obviously we need to be mindful about what we want to speak. Picture in your subconscious brain, put it into words, and then the R's and the O's will disappear. We'll obviously have to work on improper usages, but try avoiding words like very, to. It doesn't lend any pillar of strength or support or credence to the word that you are juxtaposing it with, right? So those were my takes. I think in terms of great use of languages, obviously Toastmaster Dannan with his great charm and great warmth carried off the session very well. It's always a pleasure to listen to our president because he does it with such grace and poise. But our task is cut out. We need to improve the quality of the language used. We should get those beautiful phrases back in so that our guests and our new members know that they have just associated with one of the pioneering clubs of this country, where the members have rose to be the area directors, the division directors, and yes, some of them have been associated and have gone on to become the district director as well. So that's my take. Let's be mindful, let's be conscious, let's practice to get rid of the R's and the O's and be a little mindful of the improper usage of languages. Back to you, our general evaluator, all the way to Russell Kema, Toastmaster country, bro.
Thank you so much, our grammarian from Sharjah. Thank you so much for the detailed grammarian's report, and it is useful for all our the speakers as well as all the audience here. And now it's my time to evaluate the entire meeting. Before I go to my evaluation, I would like to listen from the public opinion. So only one word you may tell about the meeting. So I will start with Toastmaster Shiva. Please tell about how is the meeting in one word. Yeah, you are in mute. You are in mute. Quick round robin, please.
Meeting was excellent.
Yeah, thank you. And Toastmaster Rijao, please unmute all. Please unmute. I request everyone to unmute.
Interesting.
Thank you. And President, how was the meeting?
Fantabulous.
Thank you so much. And Toastmaster Janmon.
The meeting was really energyful. It was packed with energy. When Gandhi is there, no, it is always with energy.
Thank you so much. And our guest Pramila, please say the one word about this meeting.
Engrossing.
Yeah, fantastic. And Toastmaster Yalan.
It was spectacular.
Fantastic, amazing. And distinguished Toastmaster Sri Wilson. Sir, not able to hear you. Okay, sir, I will come back to you again.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, I only attended half of the meeting. I missed all the project speeches, but still it was fantastic. Very energetic.
Thank you, sir. And Toastmaster Ramesh.
Prominent meeting.
Fantastic. Toastmaster Shivu.
Very good.
Toastmaster Shivu.
It was mind-blowing.
Fantastic. And who named with Sharjah? Sharjah, please could you tell your name as well as how was the meeting in one word?
Hello, Toastmaster, the Kalpesh here.
Yes.
It was fantastic.
Thank you so much. And whoever want to tell, please switch on your camera. And now I would like to acknowledge the presence of our Division K Director, distinguished Toastmaster Shashidhar, to our Sharjah Toastmasters meeting. Thank you so much, all your feedback. And now I will go with the detailed report. And our Toastmaster of the day today took a wonderful theme, with business ethics. Yeah, yes, our Toastmaster Shashidhar. Yeah, please unmute yourself and please say the few words about the meeting.
I thought you are only acknowledging, not asking me to speak. So I was muted again. Anyway, thanks for poking me, Kanti. Excellent meeting, prominent meeting, and there are so many masters. No need to worry that you are jack of all trades, mastering none. Sharjah Toastmasters Club, Toastmasters are masters. Superb speeches. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Word master, please note down. Our division director also used the word prominent. And today the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Dannan, gave a wonderful theme with the business ethics, and he rocked the entire show. Please give him a very big round of applause and for conducting the wonderful show. And he beautiful slides and what are the ethics, and he informations, but he particularly took the reputation and he faced it. Fantastic. Well done, Toastmaster Dannan. And one suggestion for you, you may interact with the audience and before starting the ethics, so you will gather the attention of audience. That is only one suggestion from my side. And well done about the word master role also. Beautiful word, prominent, and you are a prominent Toastmaster. And you encouraged everyone to speak with the word of the day. Then comes our timer and grammarian, the man with more hearts, Toastmaster Soumya. As usual, he is always awesome in the grammarian's report, as well as today he took the extra role also as a timer. Well done, Toastmaster Soumya. Please give him a very big round of applause. Then we have fantastic speakers, 3 speakers we had today. Toastmaster Preeti, and she really gave a wonderful speech about her experience and she shared the drawings also during her speech, and also the beautiful, I know only the Sarigama Padanisa, but there are a lot of varieties in her song. Beautiful and excellent, and well done, and keep it up, Toastmaster Preeti. And as per the evaluator, and your evaluator Rakesh told about the where we need to improve. The same one he mentioned, you have to give deliver the speech in a standing position, because if a lion roars in a sitting position, it will not look good. But if the same lion roars in the standing position, it will be more energetic and it will convey the message. So that's amazing. And our next speaker, Toastmaster Shiva, and he gave a lot of statistics with the presentation, beautifully done, more research, fantastic. And I would like to give one suggestion from my side. You may do little practice more, and we need a little more voice modulation, so it will be more, it will attract all the audience also. Because you may, for example, you said the Japanese has large plates, something little variation in your voice modulation, and it was beautifully evaluated by our Toastmaster Ramesh. Well done, our past area director, and he covered all the points, and I'm sure both the speakers as well as the audience will get take all the positive points and where we need to improve in the recommendation side. So well done, both the evaluators. Then our mentor, as usual, Toastmaster Johnny, he shared his experience with his mentees, and it's a wonderful one. And now I would like to thank our table topics master, DTM Nagarajan. He encouraged all the speakers, and he lot of guests, and also he invited lot of guests. So maybe we can give him the table topics master role again, so he may invite more guests for his session actually. And thanks to the Toastmaster John Mohan and DTM Venkatesh ji, and Pramila, guest Pramila, and our another guest Yellen, and Toastmaster Rija, and topics. And DTM Venkatesh explained about from the view of Bill Gates, and Toastmaster Pramila he said a smart answer with the, we have to work hard with the smart. So beautiful answer from Toastmaster Pramila. And Toastmaster Yellen told about how to work friendly with our co-workers. And Toastmaster Rija, that is a only tricky question by DTM Nagarajan. That is how there you are not uncomfortable in your office, but she managed well. Well done, Toastmaster Rija. And DTM Jace as well as he told about how to check the payment when during this COVID. Then and Janman also he explained about the lessons learned. All the speakers did well, fantastic. And only one suggestion to the common suggestion to the table topic speakers. And you may use 2 minutes actually because we no need to rush. We have 2 minutes 30 seconds, so you can if you share more your thoughts, it will benefit to all our guests and the Toastmasters here. And overall, it was a wonderful meeting as per the public opinion and also from my opinion. So now, thanks to everyone, and you would like to give back to our only one Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Dannan. Amazing Toastmaster of the day. Over to you.
Thank you very much for the wonderful and awesome evaluation and detailed evaluation, I might say, by you, Toastmaster Kanti, and also by Toastmaster Sumya. It's always great to hear feedback. I want to start the final part of our meeting today with the closing notes part. And I want to actually start with a funny cartoon that I found when I was preparing for this presentation. And that is one employer telling another one, I'd like you to do a presentation on business ethics. If you don't have time to prepare something, just steal it off the internet. So with this, I think it gives a very good reflection that we are faced daily with many decisions that we have to make based on our background and our business ethics and what we consider right and what we consider wrong. And I want to quickly touch upon the points that were raised by distinguished Toastmaster Nagarajan. And he said that during the pandemic, all the business ethics are up in the air. I do want to say something that is from my experience, that talking about business ethics is one thing, but actually doing business ethics is a totally different thing. I think when there is no hardship, there is no crisis, everybody can lecture. But the true colors only show themselves when there is crisis. I don't think people changed. I don't think companies changed. I just think that during hardships, their true background ethics showed. And there is a famous saying that says, olive oil will only come after pressing the olives. So without pressing the olives, you will never get olive oil. You will not know what is the true inside of the people unless there is hardship. Another point that I want to make is, and this is a closing quotation that I found also that is really, it actually highlights the importance of reputation, and that is, it takes many good deeds to build a good reputation, and only one bad deed to lose it. And that is a quotation by Benjamin Franklin. With this, I would like to move on and start. I would like actually to introduce our club president, a person that is a very humble person, but at the same time, he is an overachiever. And I can tell that being an HR professional, I can tell that he is an overachiever. I would really like to welcome him and ask him to do the closing speech. Over to you, President Rajesh.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mohammed Dannan. Can you please remove the slides here, please? Yeah. Thank you so much.
Most welcome.
Everyone, what should I talk about today's theme, today's TMOD? What words would suffice? I would say an excellent session, a pertinent theme, ostensibly appealing, perfectly timed with the contemporary developments where today ethics is becoming extinct. And you reminded us of the importance of ethics. So we should remember that, and we need to be ensuring everyone that the ethics would continue to be in place. It would remain pertinent as it should be. It should be a prerequisite, and it would be prevailing, because without ethics, everyone would be in trouble. Toastmaster Dannan, today's your session, you were on top of everything today, including the timing. Time management is so important, and you, in your first session as TMOD, you have mastered the art. And we are more than certain that you would be definitely walking miles. We wish you all the best, and thank you once again for today's extraordinary session where you spoke about the importance of business ethics. And again, let us expand that ethics not just to business, but in every aspect of our lives. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you.
Today, in my second, before closing, let me also remind our dear members about the importance of membership renewal. We still have a couple of members who are yet to renew. Please renew it. We already have the lead and win, but that doesn't mean that we should stop renewing the remaining membership. So please do that at the earliest possible so that our membership strength continues from strength to strength. We have certain prominent guests here, Division Care Director, who is already being acknowledged and who has already had his share of words to us. Thank you so much, DKD Shashidhar, for coming to our meeting, and please continue to attend all the meetings, not just online. Next meeting would be in person, hybrid. Please continue to visit us and then guide us as in the capacity of Division Director. We have a few guests, but before I turn to guests, let me start with one of our senior members, DTM Baji sir. A few words, please. How would you rate today's meeting? DTM Baji, are you there? I think he is not. Another senior member of Sharjah Toastmasters who came late, but he's still very much there. Toastmaster Vishnu, can we hear from you? Oh, Toastmaster DTM Baji is there. Baji sir.
Yeah. Good evening, sir. Good evening. It was a very good meeting. In fact, I logged in late around when the first speaker was already getting over a speech. But it was a good meeting, and especially like the theme of the evening, business ethic. A good theme Toastmaster Dannan has taken. And overall, all the speakers have spoken very well. I like the speaker of Madam Vas, the way she has spoke the table topic like a very professional way she has spoken like a Toastmaster. All the best to Sharjah Toastmasters.
Thank you, Baji sir. Thank you so much. Toastmaster Vishnu, can we hear from you? Seems he's not around. Another senior member, but who regularly misses due to his work commitments and being busy schedule, under the pretext, under the disguise of Sharjah as the name here, Toastmaster Kalpesh. Toastmaster Kalpesh, are you there? I can see you, but maybe you are away. Let's now move to our guest. Guest Ellen, can we hear from you, ma'am?
Thank you very much, Mr. President. So it's always a pleasure to visit Sharjah Toastmasters. I am now with Professionals Toastmasters Club, but I decided to join you guys. Sharjah Toastmasters is always on my heart, and it was a great meeting. I enjoyed being here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Toastmaster John Monsavier, can we hear from you, sir? You're muted, you're muted.
Good evening, and thank you for giving me an opportunity, President. And it was really wonderful. And I got into the meeting very late because, in fact, I saw the invitation of our Toastmaster candidate late. Sorry for it, but I will somehow make one attending of the full meeting. And I like the way in which it is being carried out. And especially I like the way in which, because I did not attend the word master and grammarian, the presentation, I liked it very much. And the closing ceremony by the president, I like the way in which you have appreciated the TMOD, and everything was excellent. Very nice. Keep going.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster John Monsavier. Continue to attend our meetings, please. Toastmaster Mendis, are you there?
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
It was prominent and very fantastic meeting. Although I joined late, I was caught up in the traffic, but somehow I got to hear all the tabletop speakers, and it was really prominent and fantastic. That's all.
Thank you so much. Even though the word count is completed, we could still add your usage of the word of the day. Thank you so much.
I'm very happy for that.
Now let's move to a guest today, Madam Pramila. How did you rate our meeting? You're muted. You're muted.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it was a very wonderful experience listening to various topics. And I like the main topic of today, that is business ethics, because I myself, running a salon. So it was like very apt topic. So because I myself believe in following a lot of ethics in my business. And also I felt all the topics were very interesting, and I was fully engrossed till the end. And only one worry I have is the time constraint. It was like little, 2.5 hours, which I won't be able to afford, I feel, because I have a business of salon and it closes at 9:30 and I have to work. So for me, that is only the worry. I was always looking at the clock and how do I manage? That was my worry, because I don't want to part with this. I want to continue. I want to be a part of it. But now I have to think, how do I do? Whether I have to work hard or work smart and or balance.
Thank you so much, Madam Pramila. Please continue to come to our meetings whenever possible. And we have one more. Oh, thank you so much. We have one Toastmaster who became a Toastmaster last week with Sharjah Toastmasters. Toastmaster Shibu, can we hear from you?
Good evening to all. Today's meeting, it was very nice. I was thinking like when I can be able to speak like you all people today, the way you all present. Like for me, it's really the vocabulary they use. It's very nice, and I hope I can able to speak like others in one day. So that's it.
I remember you spoke about it when you came as a guest also, and then we ensured that you would be speaking as good as anyone around here, because at one point of time all of us were new. So again, pick up roles, come and attend all the meetings. Thank you so much.
Sure. Thanks.
Once again, now, dear Toastmasters and guests, it's time for us to announce the winners of the day. Everyone is a winner, as the saying goes, but again, we have to pick the best of the best. And let me start with table topics. Today, the best table topic speaker award goes to someone who goes to the office not just for money. Toastmaster Ellen, I hope your employer is not present in the meeting today. Congratulations, Toastmaster Ellen. You are the best table topic speaker today. To move to evaluator, that's someone who had evaluated the eating habits of Japanese and a few European countries. Toastmaster Ramesh Koroth, the best evaluator of the day. A big round of applause for the winners. Toastmaster Kanti, can we show the certificate for Toastmaster Ramesh? If you have not made, yeah, it's there. All right. Thank you. And to talk about the best speaker of the day, who is a prominent singer, who is a gifted painter, but who is so humble that she says she is yet to master any art. Toastmaster Preeti, congratulations on being elected as the best speaker of the day. Congratulations to all winners. And now it's time for us to wrap up. Our next meeting would be an in-person meeting, a hybrid meeting in Hotel Lavender on the 27th of October. So please continue to nominate for all the roles available. And we have our VPE Toastmaster Kanti and Deputy VPE Rakesh, Toastmaster Rakesh here. So please give your names so that we can publish the agenda and finalize the roles as easy as possible. And with this, with the hope that every one of us has enjoyed the meeting to the core and that the coming meetings would be more enjoyable, like heard melodies are sweet and unheard are sweeter, let me declare meeting number 556 as closed. Thank you, everyone.